What's up guys, welcome to a new video. As you can see, today we're not at the usual location. I'm currently in a hotel room because I shot an event in Munich for Wempe, which is a pretty big jewelry store. Which brings us to today's topic, because today I'm gonna answer a question that I get asked on a daily basis, which is how did I start getting into filmmaking, how did I start making money with it, and then eventually being able to live off of it. So let's jump right in with the basic question everyone always asks me when they first see me with a camera, which is, how long have you been doing that? And I always say basically since I can remember, because even when I was a little kid, I always used to play around with the camera of my dad, my granddad, taking photos, taking videos, capturing everything. I just always wanted to preserve the world around me and capture everything, take photos, take videos. And yeah, that's basically when I started making films. I even found some kind of vlog type style footage that I shot probably in like 4th grade or so. I just picked up the camera, started talking to it, and kind of filmed a vlog for my mom to watch while I was with a friend. So I basically vlogged back then when I was, I don't know, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, I don't know, I'm pretty bad at guessing. Anyways, I bought my first DSLR from the money I got from communion. Like back then, the church thing where you get into the, I don't know, where you're able to drink stuff and eat stuff when you go to the church. It was pretty long ago. I don't know if you do that in the US as well or if it's a German thing, but it probably should be a churchy thing. I don't know. Anyways, I wanted to take photos, videos, and back then I was huge into macro stuff. I wanted to take macro photos of bugs, flowers, everything. So I went to a camera store in my hometown of Bamberg. Just as a little kid, you know, internet wasn't a thing back then. I couldn't inform myself about the latest camera. I mean, I was a small child. And I went in there and said, hey, I want to take photos, videos, and do macro stuff. And they sold me a Nikon camera, the Nikon D3100, with the kit lens and a macro lens that was more expensive than the camera and the kit lens by themselves. So even back then I spent more on the lens than the camera. And all in all, that package cost me around 1,000 euros, which was my entire money I got from this festive celebration. And I was pretty hyped, and from then you couldn't stop me getting into filmmaking, getting into photography. I went out there every day by myself, taking photos, taking videos of every single flower and bug in my hometown. Like really, I took so much photos you could make a 3D scan out of the entire fields we have there. But pretty soon I started noticing that while the photos were good and the macro lens was working, the video wasn't good at all. And they didn't just sell me the wrong camera, because Nikon back then, this was around 2013, 2014, wasn't good for video at all. And it wasn't even a new Nikon, because a few days later, apparently, the Nikon D3200 dropped. Okay, I just googled D3100, released in 2010, and the 3200 in 2012. It's just an estimate. Anyways, the new one dropped right after I bought my version, and it wasn't good for video. So a few months, maybe 1 year, 1.5 years later, I bought my first real video camera, which was really when it all started getting more towards videography, which was my Canon 700D for I think 600 euros back then. And that was the one where I really started making progress. I even had my first paid jobs with it back then. This was around the time 2015, 2016. I just filmed every day, trying to edit videos, trying to get better. And in 2015, in December of 2015 is also when I started my YouTube channel, this one right here. And I dedicated myself to making videos every week, dropping one single video every Sunday. And I did that basically for the last 8 years now, with I think a 1.5 to 3 month gap in 2016 when I got a strike for a video where I showed how to download sound effects, which was pretty frustrating. But besides that, I dropped a single video every Sunday, and during Corona even 2 to 3 videos a week, which is now, I don't know how I did it. Because of course, doing that, it wasn't my full-time job. I graduated from secondary school or high school. You can't really compare it. The school systems are a bit different. Then going to a kind of college thing, I mean, the school systems are very different, but I think you can compare it to that. I graduated from that. I did my driver's license, all while I still maintained my weekly routine of making videos, creating tutorials, short films, effects, everything, learning a bit of sound here, a bit of grading here, a bit of visual effects, After Effects right here. Whatever I felt like doing, I just did it, made a video about it, put it on YouTube, and got better over time. And when I graduated from secondary school or high school, I actually applied for one job offer, and thank God they didn't take me, because I applied as a photographer in my city, and oh boy, would I have been unhappy if I got that job. A friend of mine actually started becoming a photographer, but then stopped and became something else. But yeah, that's why I basically did 2 more years of school to kind of figure out how to do it, what I can do. And then I had something really good coming up, because the friend of mine who actually started becoming a photographer, he actually did an internship at a video production company here in Bamberg, which I didn't know of back then, but they needed a 4K camera for a shoot, and they didn't have one. This was, I think, in 2017. Yep, 2017. And I had one because I forgot to mention, in December of 2016, I bought a Sony a7S II, which also was a really big step up in my video production game. Quick little insert, I actually started working as a barkeeper in a local restaurant in my hometown. Started working there when I turned 16 and worked there for about 3 to 4 years until Corona hit basically. I bought the Ronin M back then from the first money I got from the job, and I also delivered newspapers before I turned 16 to get more money to invest into film equipment, but this was basically for like $1 or $2 an hour. The struggle and hustle was real back then. And something else I forgot to mention this entire video, in the beginning of 2019, on the morning of my 18th birthday, on the 4th of January 2019, is when I first registered my business, because you have to be 18 for that. So I did that right on my birthday. So the video production company officially exists since 2019, even though I already had some paying clients before that, but you have to be 18 in Germany to register a business. So yeah, back then in 2017, I was a 16-year-old dude renting out my camera to this video production company, and the owner of the company asked how much I want for it. I can just send him an invoice about renting the camera, but I needed an internship for the school I was in. So I was like, you know what, I don't need money, but could I, make an internship in your company? And that's what I did. I think I did 1 month or 1.5 months, and then we needed to do a second internship, and normally you couldn't do it in the same company, but this was just the only and best option for me because I didn't want to do an internship as a photographer or something of an entire different field, and this was the only video production company. So I also did my second internship there. Now then I got the offer to work at this company right away after I finished my school, but my parents weren't so happy about me just going into work life without any education besides school. They wanted me to learn a job. Sadly, the owner of the company couldn't do that because he didn't have an instructor's certificate. But since I said I really need to do this and I really should do this to, keep it safe, he did his instructor certificate just for me to start at the company so he could educate me and I would work for him, which was a win-win for both sides because I got my education and he got me as a ready-to-work full-time workforce for even cheaper. Like, this wasn't really for me to get some education or something like that. I was taking on projects by my own from the first day, going to clients, talking with them, doing whole video shoots by myself without anyone, which normally isn't something that you do in the first year of your education. Someone just knocked at the door and came right in. It's 10:45, I'm checking out at 12. Don't do that again. Where was I? By the way, the job description of the job I became was media designer, image and sound. And some people in my class weren't even allowed to pick up the camera for the 2nd or 3rd year because it's not something you normally do. But again, I just did it to have it on paper and not really to learn everything because this professional school was... Don't even get me started on this one. The curriculum was from, I think, 1996. Which back then smartphones couldn't film, not even DSLR cameras were able to take videos, so... Well, I gotta correct myself, it was from 2006, bad enough. And the funny thing is, in 2019, when I was finally done with the school, they made a new curriculum, even though the 2019 version is probably still outdated and maybe time-wise from 2006 now. Actually, for this video, I googled the curriculum. First, you find the 2019 one, and when you scroll down just a few centimeters, you actually find my old school. And when you click on the curriculum on their side, it still has the 2006 one on its side. It's been 4 years. This school is the worst. It's literally molding from the outside. At least it looks like it. Its Google reviews are just the best. Anyways, back to the topic. The stuff we learned was basically useless. Like, the teacher would hold up a cable and be like, this is a cable you probably don't know because we don't use it anymore, but you have to learn it because it's in the curriculum. German school systems. Well, school systems in general, they suck. Anyways, then came something that really played into my cards, like probably just in my cards, not in the cards of anyone else, which was the coronavirus. Yeah, I mean, while it of course was and is a bad thing, and for me as well, when it comes to my school and education, it was just amazing because the company I worked at didn't have any jobs anymore, so I wasn't working at it anymore, but I was still getting my salary, which was like 500 euros because I was still in education, but well. And the best thing, I didn't have to attend the professional school anymore because we switched to online classes, which means I was sitting there at my desk with my 2 monitors, having the Zoom class on my left side with the teacher explaining something about cables from the dinosaur age, and on my main monitor, I could edit my own projects, work on my client videos, play Minecraft, maybe, why not? Anything was more useful than listening to the teachers, even watching cat videos. Nothing against the teachers. It's not their fault the curriculum is so wrong and outdated. Anyway, so I didn't go to professional school because of Corona. I didn't go to my workplace for a month because, again, they had no jobs and I just had the occasional editing a show reel here and there, which took up like 1 day a month, if even that much time. So I was able to just work on my own business because I still had clients, which was a whole nother thing of me and my ex-boss parting in bad terms because he of course wasn't happy that I was still getting jobs and he didn't. So he tried to get my jobs, wanted to force me to give them to him, and just overall did some really bad moves, which was really sad because I considered him a friend before that. But this was the first time I learned when it comes to money, there is no friendship. Anyways, I was shooting mainly music videos back then and some weddings, but mainly music videos, and that was where my money was coming from. And I was still living at my parents, so I had no rental expenses, no food expenses, and I could live off of a few jobs here and there, which was pretty great. But of course I wanted to scale that, and that's when I tried getting into a sales coaching, because I wanted to know how to sell my videos and get more clients. This was at the end of 2021, beginning of 2022. I got into the sales coaching, which was 7,500 euros, which is a lot of money. And I didn't learn the stuff I wanted to learn, because basically the only thing they taught me is doing cold calls, calling 100 people a day, selling them my stuff, sneaky methods to go past the assistant and talk right to the boss, and then just try to sell them your stuff, which wasn't something I wanted to do at all. Like, I would rather make way less money than get on people's nerves with cold calling and trying to sell them something they don't want. That's just not me. And I would be so unhappy if I would get rejection 98 out of 100 times a day. So I didn't try the cold call methods they did in the coaching, and they basically didn't have any other options besides cold calling. So the coaching itself basically was for nothing. They also said they are specified on videographers and photographers because they have one other photographer and I was the videographer, but they didn't know how to handle photographers or videographers at all. They just tried to form me into a social media recruiting agency, and I don't want to do Facebook ads. That's just nothing that interests me. That's boring, and I want to make videos. So the coaching wasn't anything for me, but I still took something from it and don't regret it now, because I didn't just get one amazing client, which I worked for over 1 year, which brought me back these 7,500 euros by 5 or 6x, but it also opened my eyes that I maybe should switch my focus from the music video business, which I still do because I love it, it's my passion, but for the money making side, to business videos. So fast forward nowadays, I have a system for myself where I can profit off of these social media agencies without having to do any of the ads by myself, because again, I don't enjoy it and I just want to do stuff I enjoy, which are the videos. So I work with a lot of social media agencies. They do the ads, but they don't have a videographer. That's where I come into play. I do all the videos for the agencies, give them to them, and they can run the ads on the videos. And I just have to do the videos. And I don't even have to do selling. I mean, I have to sell to the agencies, which is pretty easy because the offer I have for them is just a no-brainer for them because it's too easy. And once I'm working with an agency, they just have to sell the videos to their clients and then book me for the videos, which is a pretty great system. But I don't just do the recruiting videos, I also do a lot of image films, product videos, and event videos. And yeah, that's how I got to that level with doing mainly B2B business, working for companies and not that much for individual persons, because that's where the money is. And they're not just willing to pay way more than an individual person, they're also way more reliable. I had so many headaches with music video clients, rappers being like, I want to shoot a music video, money doesn't matter. And then once they heard that a music video is more than 200 euros, or dollars, they were pretty shook. And even when they said it's fine to shoot a music video for 1.5, 2 grand, and we agreed on that, even on paper, then I was running after my money for a month, which was just pretty exhausting. Again, I still enjoy music videos and I still do them with people I trust or people I know or people I really believe in, where the money is secondary, where I just really want to help the people get out their music with a nice music video, which I enjoy making. That's the only times I do music videos nowadays, and the rest is B2B business, which was the biggest step up for my video production company. And yeah, that was of course just a short summary. I skipped a lot of stuff, a lot of shit happening, but also a lot of good moments happening. For example, my first 10K month, like in 2022. I think back in July, I hit my first 5-figure month, which was a pretty amazing feeling and something I couldn't even believe at the beginning of the year of 2022, that just 6 months later, I would reach something like that, which back then seemed like an untouchable goal, but now it's become reality, and I'm just so happy that I can live off of what I love doing and even live off it pretty good. I always dreamed of becoming an independent filmmaker and living off of that, and I thought it would probably take me years to reach that goal, to finally be able to make some money off of my hobby. And now I'm sitting here in a hotel room paid for by the client, shooting a video for my YouTube channel, and yesterday I filmed an amazing event and I can't wait to get home to edit it now. That's it from this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button and also consider subscribing right here for more videos and insights on filmmaking right here on this channel. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Goodbye. Damn.